Good morning, everyone. My name is Genevieve Marino, and I'm here with the Glitter Goddess Collective offering our daily yoga. So roll out your mat. Today is going to be a more restorative flow. It's our sparkle flow, and it's going to be slower paced. And what will you need for today? Some water. I have my coffee if you want coffee or tea. Um, oh, yes, you need, I would like us to have two supportive things. So, like a couch pillow or like just pillow, two of them, or like a blanket, but like a big fluffy one. Um, and we'll use them in our first pose, so I'll show you how to set them up. Um, we offer these community yoga classes for free, but we accept donations, and our donations go directly towards helping families of color, queer and trans folk. I'm coming in from New York City. My colleagues come in from Providence, and we do directly help those specific communities. So if any of those communities, if you want to help any of those communities directly, please let us know. And you can Venmo at the Glitter Goddesses. And in the subject line, just let us know if you want it to go towards New York City or Providence. I cannot see you. I wish I could, but the way our mode of communication during these classes is typing into the comments. So if you have any concerns or questions or need any modifications, type it into the comment section, and I will be checking as class goes along. And because I can't see you, please listen to your body. If anything doesn't feel right, back out of it. Usually these deep stretches or in yoga, like it feels, sometimes a pose can feel hard, or it could feel strenuous, or it takes a lot of energy, or you have to really release, and it's a deep like feeling, but it's very sensational, but it should never be pain. If it's pain, back out of it. It's not worth it because you could get hurt. So, and then type it in the comments if you have any questions. Okay, let's get started. So, we're gonna start in a supported Baddha Konasana. So you're gonna take your two big fluffy supports. Good morning, Aussie. Welcome. So if you're just joining in, two like fluffy objects, they're gonna be your supports. So you could have two pillows, a blanket, I have one of each. It really doesn't matter. So we're gonna start in a supported Baddha Konasana. You're gonna have your supports on either side of you, right and left, and they're gonna go underneath your knees. So I'll show you without. I have my feet together. I'm sitting down, and then I'm gonna bring my knees wide so that the soles of my feet can touch. And it's early, so your knees might not land on the floor. So we're gonna place those two fluffy objects underneath each knee, and we're gonna be here for some breaths. So as we're here, maybe the hips will start to open and rotate. And you can stay seated, or you can lie down on your back and just allow the hips to open. Knees might fall closer to the ground just because of gravity. You can place your right and your left hand on top of your thighs if you like, so that you have a little extra weight, just kind of grounding your legs down. And then check in with your spine. Bring awareness to the points of contact that are on your mat. And maybe lengthen out the spine. Maybe bring the crown of the head a little bit closer to the back of the mat. And inhale and exhale. Inhaling and exhale. And as we're here, breathing, we're going to add a little bit of structure to our breaths. And so I'm going to guide you through by counting. Your inhale will be 4. Then you'll hold at the top for 4 counts. Then your exhale will be 4. And then you'll hold at the bottom in between inhale and exhale for 4 counts. So just take a regular inhale to synchronize everybody. Exhale, and then we'll begin. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Last time. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale naturally and exhale through the mouth. Bring your knees together and you can gently glide them up with your hands as well. Then bring your knees into your chest. Give them a hug. Maybe you rock back and forth. And here, let's take a happy baby. So you're going to lift your feet, show the tops of your feet to the ceiling, but your knees are still bent. And then with your hands, you can come from the inside of your legs and then grab the outer edges of your feet. So my arms are connected to the insides of my legs. And then you can Push up with your feet and get a nice stretch in the hips. And you can keep it still and stable, or maybe you want to rock back and forth. Extend one leg and then the other. Today, I'm going to recommend movement, but it's totally fine if you just want to be in a still, stable pose and experience it that way. Today, I have planned a little bit more movement to kind of lubricate the joints. So if you want to kind of like straighten one leg and then the other, you could, if you want, hold on to just the right foot and extend the left leg. And then now you're stretching your hips in two different ways. You're stretching the front of your left hip as well as the back of the right hip. And then you could do the other side. Then you extend the right leg. I feel free to linger in these postures as long as you like, or you can roll up to seated, or if you want to take it slow, roll onto one side and slowly rise up. And then the next pose we're going to meet in is downward facing dog. So you can move your props to the side. Take a sip of water or anything if you'd like to do that. And then once you're in down dog, it's an upside down V shape. And hands are shoulder width apart. Fingers spread nicely. Feet are hips width distance apart. So this is what I mean by upside down V. And I like to, I have a teacher who's been teaching me to bend my knees in my down dog and really focus on lengthening my spine. And then over time, and like rising the hip bones up. And then over time, if you want the knees to straighten and the heels to come down, you allow them to lengthen the back of the legs. But you don't worry about getting those legs perfectly straight. And then you push down with the fingertips. And lengthen the side body. Lengthen the spine. And here, we're going to keep lubricating the hips. If you want to, you can either stay still and stable in this down dog, or you can lift the right leg up and then bend the knee, open up the hip, make sure you have a left leg that's pushing down, and then if you want, you can draw circles with your knee in the air to kind of glide around that hip joint. And then come down. Come down to your down dog, pedal it out. And then you're going to do the same thing on the left side. You're going to lift the left foot, bend the knee, open up the hip, and then make little circles with your knee to kind of move around the hip joint. Push down with your right leg and your two hands on the ground. And just notice where the sticky spots are. And then bring the foot back down and step to the top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen the heart forward, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. Again, you can bend the knees so that you can lengthen the spine. Instead of having straight legs and rounded, experiment today with bent knees and long spine, long back. And fold. Inhale, reach the arms up and rise. Maybe the hands touch at the top and you look up. Exhale, bring the hands to heart center. I'm sorry that every time I stand up, my head gets cut off. So somebody told me that last time. Maybe if I do this. I don't know. We'll do our best. Okay. So you're standing at the top of the mat. Inhale, reach the arms up. Connect the palms. Look up and stretch. Push down with your feet. Reach up with the fingertips. And then fold forward. Put a slight bend in the knees for today. Inhale, lengthen. Hip bones back. Heart forward. Crown of the head forward. Exhale, fold. Place the hands on the ground next to your feet, and you can step it back to a plank, or you can put your knees down right away, and then lower slowly to the ground, so that your belly is on the ground. And guys, if you're pregnant or anything and you don't want to be on your belly, you can stay up on your shin bones. And we're going to do a cobra, but if you don't want to be on your belly, you can do a camel pose that looks like this, and you're working the same muscles. So if you're on your belly, we're going to do a cobra here. And so forehead's going to go on the mat. I know that's awkward, but hands are going to go next to your ribs. And then push down with the tops of the feet, even the pinky side of the feet. Roll the chest, the heart forward. Peel each rib up. Lift the head. Drag the hands beside your ribs back towards your feet. They don't go anywhere, but that's the energy. And then your neck and head lift as if like a mama cat was coming to pick up her little kitten by the scruff of its neck. It's lifting. And then return back to the ground. And here, cactus the arms. You're on your belly. Cactus the arms. And if you're on your shins, I'll show you the modification. But what you're going to do, make sure your elbow is in line with your shoulder. You don't want it up too high or down too low. Up really high will be intense. We're going to do a shoulder stretch. Down low, you'll just miss out on it. So your shoulder stretch. You're going to have your cactus arms out. And we'll roll to the right side first. So elbow is in line with shoulder. And then if you want, you're going to roll onto your right side and feel the stretch in the front of the shoulder. You can make this more intense or less intense depending on how far you roll over, how much body weight you put into that roll. So you just kind of experiment and see where you're at today, how much shoulder opening. If you don't want to be on your belly, You can actually do this on a wall, if you have a wall, and peel open like that. So we'll be here for like a minute, and then we'll go to the other side. It's also nice to put like a pillow or something underneath your head if your head doesn't reach the floor. And then come back to center, goalpost or cactus your left arm so that elbow is in line with shoulder. And then right arm, fingertips will come to the ground, and you can roll over to your left side and open up the left shoulder. And breathe. Send the inhales into that sticky, tight space. And as you exhale, release the tension. Okay. Return back to center. We're gonna do another back bend. So again, you can do you could do camel on your shins, or if you're with me, lying on the ground, you're going to extend your arms back towards your feet, straight, with the backs of the hands on the floor. And then forehead on the ground, tops of the feet pressing down, especially the pinky side of the foot. Then slowly peel your ribs up and up and up. Extend the crown of the head forward. Imagine your neck lifting like that mama cat is picking up its baby by the scruff of its neck. Then maybe your feet lift, maybe then your arms lift for a locust pose, Shalabhasana. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, reach a little bit further, and then exhale, lower to the ground. And then one more thing while we're here on our tummies. We're going to do frog, which for me is a really intense pose. So we're going to do it one leg at a time. And what you're going to do is you can come up to your forearms. We're going to start with the right leg. You're going to bend your right knee and then bring the right knee in line with the hip like this. Oh, if I move, you can see. So I have one leg straight, my left leg is straight. My right knee is bent and it's in line. I brought it up in line with my right hip. And then if you have your supports, like your bolsters handy, you can put them underneath your chest. But if you don't, that's fine. And we're just going to allow gravity to gently open the hips. And make sure your hip is in line with your knee for your right side. You can stay up on your forearms. If you would like to pad the knee, you can do so of your right leg. Then extend the right leg. And we're going to come into it on the left side. So you're going to bend the left knee, bring the knee up in line with the left hip. And you're looking for these angles, these right angles. Hip in line with knee, and then shin is at a right angle. And you allow gravity to help you open up the hips. Extend the left leg, and then bring it back to child's pose. Our next move is tabletop. Feel free to take a sip of water or coffee or tea. But we're not leaving frog just yet. Now we're going to try it with both legs in that bent position. So what you can do, you have choices with your bolster-like objects, your fluffy objects. You can place them underneath each knee, like that, and then slowly walk forward. This pose is very hard for me, which is actually why I chose it for today. Or you could have your knees on the ground, and you could use the fluffy objects as a bolster underneath your torso. So that's where we're going, and here's how we're going to get into it. I think I'm going to do one under each knee. You can try them both out. You're going to start in tabletop. And you're going to bring your knees wider than hips width distance apart. And if you have your fluffy objects, you can put one knee on one object and one knee on the other. I guess make sure they're just not too slippery. You don't want to go sliding around. And then you're going to slowly inch your knees a little bit further apart. And you want these right angles of hip and knee in line, and then shin out as a right angle. I guess that would be perpendicular. So you want that. And then the goal is to try and get close to the ground, but obviously this is a really intense stretch. It's a really deep stretch. So wherever you're at. I clearly have some space. I don't know if you can see it. And if you wanted, if you had something, you could put it underneath your chest and drape your chest over. You can stay up on your forearms, or if you have that support, you can really allow yourself to sink and ground down. When you're there, Reach the crown of your head forward, tailbone back, flex the feet. Lift the belly away from the ground. And we're going to be here for some time, but if you need to come out of it, by all means do so. And you could do so by coming back onto your hands, bringing the knees close to each other. And if you want, you can go back to the one leg frog and work that. Come on up. If you're on your forearms, you come to your hands and bring the knees towards each other. Slowly, slowly, and then sink back to a child's pose. Bring the hips on top of the shins. Reach the arms forward. Place the head on one of your pillows for child's pose. All right, feel free to stay in the child's pose as long as you like. If you want, you can come out of it, and I'll face this way so you can see me. Take your fluff. Have it handy. And we're going to come into Gomukhasana. In your tabletop, take your right leg, bring it around and cross it in front of your left so that your knees are in line. It's left knee, then right knee. And then you can bring your feet out to either side. There are mine. See if you can get them in line with each other, but I know that that's really difficult. That's the goal. Then you can take your fluff and bring it back, and you have the option of sitting on it. You don't have to, but it's nice. And then here is Gomukhasana. This I find is extremely intense also. And if you want, if you're like, I'm not ready for that, straighten the left leg, the bottom leg, and have the right leg on top and work one hip at a time. If you want to deepen it, come to the front of the sitting bones, the two bones in your butt. Come to the front of them. Reach the chest forward and up, and option to crawl the fingertips forward and fold forward. If you want, you can fold onto your second fluffy object. You can put that on your legs and drape yourself over it. You don't need any of these things though. If you don't have them, it's fine. If you have a cat or a dog, see if they'll be a fluffy object for you. And make sure you are breathing in any of these intense, tight poses. You can imagine your inhale going to that space that's tight and irrigating it, flushing it with life. And as you exhale, you're sending the tension out. Inhale. If you were folded, curl yourself back up, rise up, and then extend the legs forward. And here, in between sides, we can take a Paschimottanasana, forward fold. So if you're sitting on your fluffy object, that's great. Elevate those sitting bones just a little bit so that you can get on the front side of them. Project your heart forward, lengthen the spine. Just like in our forward fold and our down dog, today I like to bend the knees so that I can feel the contact of my belly onto my thighs and lengthen the spine out. I'm going to pad my heels actually because it hurts. Okay. Lengthen the spine with your bent legs and the fronts of your sitting bones, and slowly unbend the knee to the extent that it feels reasonable, to the extent that you're getting that hamstring stretch. And you can stay bent. It's just all about the feeling. It doesn't matter what it looks like. It's the lengthening feeling. So when you find that in your body, that's where you stay. Maybe you practice with that movement that we were talking about earlier, and you straighten your legs a little bit, rebend them, lengthen. And then maybe you fold forward. You can always, just like in the other poses, drape yourself over that bolster, the fluffy thing, if you want. Inhale, come on up. Exhale the breath out, and we're going to come into tabletop again to do Gomukhasana on the other side. So in tabletop, this time the left leg is going to come around in front of the right and over, and so you have left knee in front of right knee, and the feet are on either side, and as much as you can, try to even them out. And then back your hips down in between your feet, and you can put your pillow or whatever you got there. You can always straighten the bottom leg, that would be your right leg. And if you want to deepen this stretch, you can come to the front of your sitting bones and then lengthen the chest forward and walk the fingertips forward and fold. You can always put a bolster underneath your chest and drape yourself over your knees. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, extend the legs forward. And here, actually take a sip of water if you need it. Okay. And then you could stay up on your pillow or whatever you've got underneath your sitting bones. And you're going to bring your legs wide. And we're going to work on a wide straddle. Today is all about hips, if you couldn't tell. And you can keep that bend in the knee. And bring your legs as wide as you feel is reasonable. And you can stay here. Point the toes and then flex the feet. And if you want to, again, you can walk your fingertips forward. And fold forward. If you are folded forward, walk your fingertips back in. We're going to stay here. But bring your feet in so that, and bend the knees a bit, so that you're not like super, super wide. You have maybe like a 90-degree angle between legs, like a nice square. And then what you're going to do, you're going to bend the left knee and bring the left foot in close to your body. It's going to stay like that. And then you can keep this leg, this right knee bent. And you're going to see if you can connect your outer shoulder. Oh, I shouldn't have worn like black on black. See if you can connect your outer shoulder to your inner thigh. like that. Knee can be bent. And then, if you can hook the hand on the foot, great. If not, you can stay like this with your forearm on the ground. And then, try to peel your left ribs open, right ribs over towards the left ribs, and twist open. Maybe the left arm reaches up and you twist. If you want to, you can straighten this bent right leg. But I like to keep it bent actually because I get a better twist. And you lean the heart back, crown of the head reaches towards the right. Maybe your gaze looks up. If you want to, you can bring the left hand over, stretch the left side of the body. Maybe it touches the right foot, but not at the expense of that length. And actually, you can see here in my video, I compromise my twist if I reach towards that foot. So it's better for me if I reach and twist and not worry about that. Everybody's poses are going to look different because everybody's body is different. It's shaped differently. It feels different things. What I'm trying to get you to feel is a sensation, not ultimately look like a specific thing. Trying to get you to feel an opening and a lengthening of that side body and a twist. Okay, come on up. We gotta do the other side. Extend the left leg, but keep a little bend in it. Bring the right foot in close to the body. So again, you have this right angle. And you're going to connect the outer left shoulder to the inner left leg. My hair keeps getting in the way. Okay. Forearm can stay on the ground or hold the foot, whatever you want. And then you twist open from the belly and the middle upper back. The right ribs peel open towards the ceiling and the left ribs come around towards the right. Then crown of the head reaches towards the left. The center of the chest reaches and maybe you lean back. The right arm can extend to the ceiling, or it can reach forward. If you want to, you can grab, right hand grabs left foot. But again, not at the expense of that beautiful twisting feeling and lengthening feeling, because that's important. That's why we're here. The opening. And then come on up. Bring the legs into a Sukhasana, or crisscross seated position. And then we're going to set up for a supported back bend here. So, flush stuff if you have it, and if not, that's fine. You don't necessarily need it. But we're going to use both your fluffy things. Fold up the blanket so you get height. Or your two pillows, stack them. You're going to make like a bolster. Okay. And then you're going to put your sitting bones on the ground. You're going to sit right in front of your bolster that you just made. And then you're going to lay, you can have your feet extended. Then you're going to lay over the bolster that you just made. And what we're going to do here is open up the front of the body now. So you have this supported back bend. Your pelvis is on the ground. Your spine is draped over your bolster. And so what you can do with your hands, you have two choices. Actually, you have whatever choice you want, but two things I'm going to throw out to you. You can extend the arms and stretch and reach the fingertips overhead, or you can cactus the arms again and allow gravity to bring the elbows towards the floor. If you want, you can also put support underneath your head if you find that this is too much for your neck. So you can add another little pillow under your head. And we'll breathe here. If you want to, you can imagine the elbows reaching out left and right and rotating up towards the ceiling as your fingertips come closer to the ground. You can take Shavasana and this supported back bend pose, or if you would like, you can remove the bolster and lie flat on your mat. If you have a wall or a couch, it can also be really nice to take Shavasana with your legs elevated over your head. You can also float them like this. But if you have a wall, what you could do is you put your sitting bones against the wall. I don't have a good one here because this picture is in the way. But then you can put your feet up the wall, and that's nice too. So you have choices: regular Shavasana, supported back bend, or legs elevated. Feel free to stay in Shavasana for as long as you'd like. If you're ready to return to movement, wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, roll to one side, slowly come up to a seat. Sit tall. Feel the mat underneath your sitting bones or your shins, however you're sitting. And then as a result, you rise up. Chest rises up. Crown of the head rises up. Thank you for practicing with me today. Thank your body. We did some really deep, intense stretches. And I know it's not easy. So no matter what happened today on the mat, thank your body for showing up. Thank your mind for attending to the difficult task of yoga. It takes willpower to set an hour aside. If you like this flow, please like it and share it and follow us on all the social medias. And if you're so called to donate at the Glitter Goddesses, know that your funds are going directly into the hands of families of color, trans and queer folk who need help. Let us know if you want it to go to New York City or to Providence. Give yourself lots of self-care. Eat something, drink water, take care of yourself. And that's all I have to say. Thank you for practicing with me. We have yoga every morning, 10 a.m. And I do a special Thursday evening class that's a little more strength-based, so a little bit faster paced. So please join us for those live. And if you can't, we have all our flows on Facebook and our YouTube channel, so you can do them anytime. All right. Bye, guys.